Today I am going to show you how I am going to pot these lemongrass and rosemary up into bigger containers. I started these seeds on the 21st of January, so they have been here for a little bit over 2 weeks and they are doing amazing. However, the medium where I started this is regular seed starting mix. It doesn't have much nutrients, so they are ready. They're definitely ready now to be moved into a bigger container with potting mix where they can get the nutrients that they need. And I am excited to show you how to do that. I know that it's potting up is not something that a lot of people enjoy. I personally do not mind it. I actually enjoy it to a certain point. I am going to show you how easy it is to do that. If you started with your lemongrass seeds or rosemary about the same time, you're probably getting close to have those potted up, depending how cool or how warm your room is where you have them. I am glad that I got a bunch of these seeds germinated because like I show you in the video where I started these seeds, I had the seeds for a couple of years already, so they are considered old. So I'm going to show you how to do that, and let me grab what I need to get these babies into their home. Okay, so what I'm going to need is basically potting mix. Go ahead and choose the potting mix that you normally like. I am using organic burpees potting mix. I just like it. It's nice and it's a finer texture and I enjoy that. So I have that, but honestly, just use whatever potting mix you have at home. It should work perfectly for what we're going here. And the containers where I'm going to be moving them to are these little, like the size, the 72 cell size that I normally use. These containers are actually really, really strong. I got these from Bootstrap Farmer. I enjoy their products. No, they're not paying me to say this. I just really, really like that I can reuse this for years to come. And honestly, these are really, really strong, you guys. And basically what I'm going to try to do here is that I'm going to use 6 of these, or 6 little cells for the rosemary. And I am going to be using probably 12 for the lemongrass. And what I'm going to be doing is that I am going to be using 2 to 3 plants for rosemary to put in one little container, and about 2 to 3 plants of the lemongrass for each container. So they're not going to be one plant per cell. It's just how I like to do that. You know, once they get in the ground, they'll have plenty of room to develop their own roots, and they're going to be fine. I have done this before, they're going to be fine. But if you feel better about having one plant for your containers, then just do that. You know, there is no right or wrong. Just do whatever works for you in your own garden. And these cells are going to be going into one of these trays, and they're going to be here. They're going to be bottom water ideally, and hopefully I can show you the next update for how they do. I normally like to start with a semi-wet potting mix. I don't like to use dry mediums because, you know, it just kind of flies around, and personally I just like how manageable it is after you get it a little bit wet. A lot of people do this dry, and like I said, that's okay. Whatever works for you, just do it that way. This is just me showing you how I do them, and whatever makes sense for me might not make sense for you. Okay, so I am going to start with my rosemary just because it's easier and you can see it a lot better from your point of view. And like I say, I'm going to place about 3 plants or so per little cell here. So I think that's going to work out well. And these look a little bit dry, and they are dry because I didn't want them falling apart. And I'm going to start just by digging out. Actually, what I'm going to do first is I am going to start by making a little hole where they're going to be. Ideally where they're going to be, they're not that high, they're not that deep, So actually I don't need my holes to be super deep for that. I could just use my finger for this. Whatever works for you, it's totally fine. And just like that, I know that I have a good amount of roots there. I don't know if you can see, but all of these are roots, and I think that they are going to be just fine there. I'm actually going to grab one more plant. So I am going to put this on the side, just like this. And I'll grab this guy. What, hang on. See that? I don't know if you can see it against something dark, but look at that. Those are the roots, the beautiful roots of the seeds that we started. All right, so I think, at least for those, that these are ready. So I'm just going to get them together, ideally in the way that they were in the container. And like I say, I don't really need too deep of a hole here. I'm just going to place them there. Carefully, I am going to push the roots down so they can find their own way down eventually. And you just kind of have to place them around gently. And it's always great to have extra potting mix ready to be used, just in case you need to fill up the containers a little bit more after you put your plants in there. And that looks great. Like I said, the potting mix that I like to use is just wet, just enough that I am not breathing all of the dust. But at the end, when I have all of the plants in containers, I'll give it some water, just enough so that the plants are not too dry. And that's right there. And I know that you're thinking that these seeds or these seedlings are going to be too big, having especially 3 seeds in there, but if I need to divide them when I pot them up later, or even later when I put them outside, I will make that decision to divide them. But honestly, if I keep 3 here and I just move them into one container when I'm ready to put them outside, they're going to do just fine. At least rosemary, they're going to be fine. I am going to show you one more before I speed up the process. So I am going to try to keep plants that are kind of already working together, like right here. See, right here. I'm just going to get these 3 right here in one. And what I do is that I'm just going to try to dig them out like you would if they were in the ground. You will try to go down deep under the roots. And one fell off on the side, that's fine. There you go. I have 3 right there with roots and everything. This one just does not want to stay in place. See, right there. And same thing, make a little hole, help the roots go down first so that, you know, the roots are not just hanging out on the top. And then gently work the potting mix around. And if you need to use a little bit more potting mix, go ahead and do that. Just make sure not to bury the plants completely. Try to keep them at the same level that they were where you dug them out first. And that I have two. I hope this makes sense, the way that I'm doing this. Again, this is just the way that I like to do my own seedlings. I feel like it doesn't work for everything, but so far, rosemary and lemongrass don't seem to be too picky with their seeds. So I feel like I can do things like this because they are strong plants. There you go. So I am going to speed up the process for the rest of the seedlings here. So I need 3 more, and I have just enough to make 2 or 3 seedlings per container. And there you go. I have all of my rosemary seedlings potted up, and they're actually going to be here for a while. And probably maybe in a couple of weeks, I'll give them a little bit of fertilizer when they start growing a little bit more. But the potting mix that I have here already has fertilizer in it. So as far as nutrients go, I am not worried. They're going to be under my lights in this warm room. So hopefully they do okay. I know from experience that rosemary just grows super slow, so I am not surprised if they stay that size for a while. So let me go with the lemongrass next. And I am going to be doing the same thing with the lemongrass. And actually, because I have a lot more seeds here, a lot more seedlings, I am going to try to use 12 of these little containers, the 72 size cell. And we'll just start digging out. And like I said, I did not water them yesterday, so just so that I won't be fighting them. And these are perfect. I don't know if you can see the roots. And right there, I have 1 container already with about 3, I think that I have 3 seedlings there. Perfect. See the roots? Okay, so I am done potting up my lemongrass and my rosemary, and as you can tell, they look amazing. I really hope that they do well here because I'm really excited for the plants that I have for them in my garden this year. Thank you for being here, you guys. I hope that you enjoyed this video. Again, if you have any questions, let me know in the comments. I will do my best to answer every question as they come, but sometimes life happens, so just be patient with me. Thank you again, and until the next video.